Welcome back from that short break. We continue looking at news around the world. We start with news on the continent from DR Congo. Doctors will use a second Ebola vaccine from November in the 3 eastern provinces in the Democratic Republic of Congo to fight the deadly virus, medical officials said Sunday. Dr. Jean Marquis Muyembe, who leads the national anti-Ebola operation in the DR Congo, said they will use the new AD26 Zebov GP vaccine manufactured by Johnson & Johnson's Belgian subsidiary. It will arrive in the eastern city of Goma in North Kivu province on October 18th and will be used from the beginning of next month. In Botswana's influential former president Ian Khama on Sunday threw his weight behind the opposition, of a fierce critic of his when he was a leader, in a bid to oust his hand-picked successor in the country's upcoming elections. Earlier this year, Khama dramatically defected from the Botswana Democratic Party, which has ruled the southern African country since it gained independence from the Britain in 1966. Away from the continent, we go to the United Kingdom, where Britain and the European Union have entered a pivotal week that will determine if they are still on course to reach amicable divorce terms and when Brexit may finally occur. Queen Elizabeth II is due to step into the fray of performing her ceremonial duty of informing Parliament about the government's agenda for the coming year. We close news around the world from India, where mobile phone networks were this morning restored in Indian Kashmir after a 72-day blackout. Authorities said, but the internet remains off limits to the region's 7 million plus people. India cut access to mobile networks in the restless Kashmir Valley in early August, citing security concerns as it scrapped the region's semi-autonomous status and imposed a lockdown. That is it for the news around the world. We now move on to what is making news in business.
In business, tonight, Trade Minister Media Chambade has asked technocrats of government departments to stop asking for kickbacks from contractors because it results into shoddy work. Chambade, who was speaking to the contractors ahead of the summit next month, says the bureaucratic tendencies in government agencies need to be reduced because some staff use it as an opportunity to ask for bribes before their contracts are awarded.
Corruption. Every step you make, someone wants money from you. How are you going to break even? Even if you get the order or the tender, how will you manage? That is why people end up doing shoddy work, because they've already spent and spent and spent in that process. The time is now to get out of that. And this forum is going to change your life. It's going to change the way you're doing business. It's going to reduce on the middlemen that have been leeches on your business, that have been parasites in your transactions.
Uganda Revenue Authority has asked companies to always hire accountants to audit their books of accounts in time to ascertain the relevant taxes which must be paid to URA. Vincent Seruma, the Assistant Commissioner, Public and Corporate Affairs URA, says some companies have been fraudulently sidestepping VAT, which compels URA to fine them at the time of filing returns.
Get an accountant to help you put together your paperwork in order to make sure that you can actually get your refund in time. So we think that should be able to help out. But we also need to be sure that the refund we are giving you is a merited refund. Because as you may be aware, we have recently had a very extensive VAT fraud where people were setting up companies purporting to have transacted, yet whereas not. So whereas we would like to, as much as possible, to be very fast in effecting a refund, we are mindful of the fact that not all people may be doing it the right way.
That was news in business. We now move on to our daily Pearl of Africa series. Today we sail on Lake Albert. Now the River Nile flows northwards and crosses Lake Chuga and Lake Albert as it gushes through the Murchison Falls, which is also known as the Kabaliga Falls. Now sailing on Lake Albert is a great experience. Check this out. The adventures surrounding the Murchison Falls and these surroundings are enormous. Sailing along Lake Albert after having the experience of a lifetime, gazing at the Murchison Falls takes you to the animals in the Murchison Falls National Park. This group of tourists had a chance to meet the elephants that were taking a walk through the bushes. Some were feeding. They also had an experience of seeing rain as they were sailing. Now this was the best experience by this group, who were all smiles as they got the feel in Uganda while on this excursion. After the rain, the cool breeze that touches your skin as the wind blows east is a feel you can only find while on Uganda's water bodies. Semi-aquatic animals I catch while sailing. The hippopotamus love to scare people, but this is an opportunity to see how they roar. There are so many adventures you can find around major water bodies in Uganda, so find time and enjoy the smoothness of sailing on them. For more Pearl of Africa stories, visit our website, which is newvision.co.ug/Pearl of Africa. A newspaper, the Sunday Vision, is also another home of adventures, so grab your copy every Sunday for Pearl of Africa stories. What an adventure, find time and sail on Lake Albert. We now move on to our special report tonight. Now, the best education is not given to students. It is drawn out of them. And it is the extreme art of the teacher to awaken joy in creative expression and knowledge. To appreciate and recognize teachers, Vision Group, in partnership with Trocare, the Irish Embassy's Simba Travel Care, organized the awards for the best teachers and the Teachers Making a Difference project. In our special report beginning today, New Vision TV gives you the profiles of the 12 teachers who made a difference this year. We begin with Brother Joseph Byamukama, the head teacher of St. Mary's College Chisubi, and Jenny Nansubuga from Mengo Senior Secondary School. Sorry for that.
Brother Deodat Aganyira has had a robust teaching career in numerous secondary schools around the country. Lifting academics and revamping infrastructure are just some of his credits. When reviewing his career, his tremendous work at St. Edward's Bukumi stands out. When Brother Aganyira joined St. Edward's Bukumi in 2005, he found the school in a sorry state. The dormitory walls had gaping holes and no doors. The main hall was about to collapse and the school farm was no longer functioning.
The infrastructure was down and the trees had already grown in some of the buildings, and the discipline was very down. Every week they could chase away a student because of pregnancy. A class of about 80 or 100 at senior 4, only about 3 or 5 could get first grade.
Brother Aganyira took on the task of rebuilding the school to restore it to its heights as the fountain of pride in Bunyoro. The school has in recent years become one of the best schools in the country at all levels.
I could also hire very good teachers from Kampala and Hoima. I made an appeal to the Ministry of Education and Sports, and luckily now They managed to give me a grant first of 300 million. I said, now I'm lucky now. I used that money to re-roof several buildings, and we didn't have a single computer. And yet our students had to do ICT. I had to lobby from the old students, and we had to buy 20 computers and renovate one of the buildings to install computers there. I started a banana plantation of about 5 acres. I also established coffee, about 2 acres. We planted 30 acres of pine trees and 10 acres of eucalyptus trees. So we also expanded the dairy farm, and by the time I left, we left more than 100 animals.
Brother Aganyira supported about 60 students who could not afford school fees by letting them work on the school farm. He served the school for 9 years before he was transferred to St. Mary's College, Kisubi, where he is now working on the school's infrastructure.
If Uganda has to be on the same level like these countries we all have visited, United Kingdom, Russia, China, America, just to mention a few, the first thing is to educate its younger people.
Going against all odds, Jane rose to be a winner, although like many other teachers, she was never supported after choosing a teaching profession over a law degree. But Jane soldiered on and disproved her father's mindset that she would sink into poverty because she had settled for a teaching profession notorious for its meager pay.
When I left A level, I was supposed to go for law, and actually they gave me law. But because of my passion for art, I left law and then I went to the School of Art.
While serving at Mengo Secondary School as a fine arts teacher for close to 1 year, Jane won a 2-year scholarship to Norway, where she was further trained on how to use art to make money.
When I went to Norway, I learned so many things. I taught in 3 schools. These were very competitive schools in a county called Telemark. This is where students could make so many things, and then in a classroom setup, and then we could make them in such a way that they were ready for the market. It was doing art, yes, to pass exams, but at the same time for livelihood. By the time I came back, I thought that it was one of the best innovations that I can bring in Mengo.
She was the first person to come up with an idea of letting students out to display what they do in Mengo. We teach the learners how to survive with the art.
She gives this advice that makes you fall in love with art almost all the time. The first material that I sold it at 80,000, and that was during my senior 4 vacation.
Now Jane has challenged her fellow teachers to make good use of their time away from class to start up income-generating projects to boost their financial power. Jane also encourages other students to be job creators, not seekers. Today, Mengo Senior Secondary School boasts of a number of innovations as a result of Jane's hard work. The school now has a student and staff clock-in system, metal fabrication, carpentry, bakery, and an outstanding academic performance. Jane also started a floriculture and decoration business in town.
It gives us much pleasure to recognize exceptional teachers. Are you an exceptional teacher? Join us in the Teachers Making a Difference next year. That is all I had for you today. Thank you for watching. Be sure to catch my news updates and other programs here on New Vision TV by visiting our website, which is newvision.co.ug/video. You can also follow us on social media. Facebook is The New Vision, Twitter is @NewVisionWire, Instagram is @NewVisionWire, and our YouTube channel is New Vision TV. Catch up with me on my Twitter handle. I am Ruth, the voice. Have a good night, but I end with a fact file.